Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and then come into a good cross-leg position, making sure that you're feeling like you're sitting evenly. Okay. So just adjust your seat bones until the seat bones feel level, and just listen to the sound of your breath. Take deep inhalations and deep exhalations, focusing on filling the lungs evenly and emptying them evenly. Hold onto your knees, lift the heart area up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Just that action in itself really helps to wake up the body. Gather the shoulder blades together a little. Look at something that doesn't move on the floor. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Just spend a few moments just observing the balance of the seat bones. And the balance of the breath. Keep the chest lifted, keep the heart area open and lifted. Keep your eyes still in the sockets if you can. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together, lengthen from your armpits into your elbows. Elbows into the heels of your hands, the heels of your hands into the fingertips. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Just focus on filling the lungs evenly and emptying the lungs evenly. Filling your lungs from the bottom of the lungs to the top. And emptying them from the top to the bottom. Draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Holding Jalandhara Bandha. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees. Connect the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence, of the ability to just read the body from the sensations of the body, and of peacefulness that we can carry into our practice as an intention. And then raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open. Hold on to your knees and lift up into the chest. Elevate the heart area upwards and then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lengthen your shoulders down away from your ears, just lengthening out the back of the neck. Take a deep inhalation and with an exhalation raise the chin up, although not everyone will raise the chin all the way up if that kind of has adverse effects on the breath. But raise the chin just a little or all the way to the ceiling, just feeling the stretch of the front of the neck. Take a deep inhalation and with an exhalation draw the chin forwards and down to meet the chest. Just take some normal breaths. Take an in breath and then with the out breath bring the chin back up. And then bring the chin back to the center. Take an in breath and with the following out breath draw the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Keeping the shoulders down. You're not going to make contact between the ear and the shoulder, but you can attempt to feel the stretch on the left side of the neck. Take an inhalation and with the exhalation come back to the center and over to the left. And just stretching out that right side of the neck. After the next in breath, come back to the center and then over to the right again. Just feeling the stretch on the left side of the neck. After the next in breath, come back to the center and then just over to the left. Just feeling that you're stretching out the muscles of the neck. And then come back to the center. Lift the chest, elevate the heart area upwards, draw the shoulders down, take a deep inhalation and then bring the chin across to the right shoulder, but keeping the chest level. Take an in breath, come back to the center and over to the left. Deep inhalation, come back to the center and over to the right just one more time. And then take an inhalation, come back to the center and over to the left. exhalation, just come back to the center. This time we're going to turn the spine, but keep the chin in line with the chest so that you don't overdo your neck. Just keep your neck still and turn from the abdomen and the ribs. Take a deep inhalation and then turn the spine to the right side. Bring your left hand across onto the right knee and try and really draw that abdomen across. Get the belly button to point at that right knee. And beyond it, just observe your body's resistance. Observe where there is also freedom. Listen to the breath. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, and then with an exhalation, turn to the left. And then gently come back to the center. Come off your lift and then come onto your feet. Have the big toes together, the knees apart, just come down onto the shins. Just let the legs just really settle into the mat. Wriggle the outer buttocks into the inner heels. So you really make good connection between the seat bones and the heels. Just let the seated position be passive initially. Just let gravity kind of do its thing. Just sink into the shins. Just try and draw the shins consciously into the floor. But that passivity quite quickly becomes soporific, doesn't it? In the brain. So we don't really want that kind of passivity in the brain. So just come, lift the chest again, and observe that when you lift the chest, it comes from the pelvis. So if you just let the body sink, the pelvis turns kind of upwards and the lower back sinks. To lift the chest, unless you do anything with your pelvis, you get stuck. So lift the chest and then feel how the pelvis adjusts its position. Press the shins firmly into the floor. Draw the front rim of the pelvis toward the tops of the legs so that the tailbone almost sticks outwards. At this stage, lift up into the chest and then come forward, hinging at the hips. And then lengthen the tailbone down towards the floor. Bring your forehead down. But the priority is to keep the seat bones down on the heels. So if you want to block underneath your head to help keep the seat bones down on the heels, then use that. Feel that you tilt the pelvis differently now. That you draw the tailbone in and down towards the heels. So that the front rim of the pelvis is literally lifting up towards the abdomen. If you try and bring the front rim of the pelvis down onto the tops of the thighs, then the tailbone turns out. But we want the tailbone to turn in. So just be really conscious of that movement of the pelvis and its importance. Just lift your head. Keep your right hand where it is and stretch the left arm out along the floor underneath the right armpit, and then bring the shoulder down. Bring that left shoulder down. Bring your head down, and then really work to activate that left arm into the floor. The more you do so, the more you open up in the space between the shoulder blades. Keep the right arm working really firmly. Keep those arms really active, and then roll the chest down to face the floor. So we're threading the needle, pushing that left arm really firmly into the floor, keeping the right arm really active. And then release, just come back into Adho Mukha Virasana. And then we'll do the other side, lift the head, keep the left hand where it is, and then thread the right arm underneath the left armpit. Bring the shoulder down if you can, bring your head down if you can, and then really work to activate that arm. Keep it straight, keep that right arm pressing into the floor, keep the left arm really active, and then roll the chest down to face the floor. Just prizing open the space between the shoulder blades. So real boom for stiff shoulders. But the more you work those arms, the more effect the pose has. And then lift your head, lift the shoulders off the floor, stretch your arms out in front, and then just come back into Adho Mukha Virasana. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Just come up, lift your head, keep your hands where they are, but come up onto fingertips. And then walk your hands over to the right side. So walk both hands over to the right side. You'll probably lose contact between the seat bones and the heels at this stage, but try and draw them down. And then really lengthen, especially into that left arm. Feeling that intense stretch across the left side of the torso. Keep the head lifted, keep lengthening into the fingertips, beyond fingertips. And then walk the hands back to the center, and then walk the hands over to the left. And you'll get the same stretch on the right side of the body. Keep that right arm really active. The more you stretch into that right arm and the left arm, the more you get that extension in the right side of the body. We're just stretching out our tension. And then come back to the center, and then just one more time come back into Adho Mukha Virasana. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and then sit yourself up. Just sit back on your heels. Lift up into the chest. Just spend a moment to observe how your body feels different, how your energy feels different. And then we can do our baddangulyasana variation. So walk your hands behind you. Have your hands directly underneath your shoulders. I think I'm slightly off screen here, but just have your hands directly underneath your shoulders, fingers pointing towards your knees. And then push the hands into the floor, like you want to push them through the floor. And then lift from the wrists up into the armpits, so that you lift and open the chest. You might just want to stay at this stage if you've got a bad back. If you don't, then the action is to tilt the pelvis, to turn the tailbone inwards, press the shins into the floor, and then lift the seat bones away from the heels up towards the ceiling, keeping the wrists lifting up into the armpits. And if there's no problem with your neck, or if it doesn't cause you any breathing discomfort, then stretch the chin away. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then come back down onto your knees, onto your heels even, and then just sit yourself back on your heels. So again, just being conscious when you come back out of there, be conscious of how the pelvis adjusts almost without thinking, well, completely without thinking about it, but it adjusts to allow the spine to become straight when we lift upwards. Come up onto your knees, have your hands as wide apart as your mat. Stretching the thumbs towards each other. Turn your toes under and then come up into dog down. So you can bend your knees initially at first, just to lift the seat bones, lift the thigh, lift the seat bones, lift the tailbone, and then straighten the legs. Straighten the legs by tightening the kneecaps. Pressing the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards. The backs of the thighs outwards. Listen to the breath. Just observe the balance of action. Does the body feel even on the left side and the right side? Is it working evenly on both sides? Is there even activation between the legs and the arms and the spine? So whether you're doing dandasana or dog down, just observe your activity. And try and balance it from the inside. And then step the feet forwards, come up into a standing position. Grab yourself a couple of blocks and have those for your hands. So our limbering poses are partly to get the body limber for the other poses, but it's really to try and initiate the brain into your practice as much as the body. So with your feet as wide apart as the mat, observe that your heels are wider apart than your big toes. So I'm forever saying to people in classes when I'm in the room, line the edge of your feet up with the edge of the mat. Sometimes I say it 4 or 5 times in a class, in a row, and people are still standing with their feet like this. And I say, line the heels out, and then in the end, sometimes I have to go round and say, actually pick up, kind of move their heel out, kind of consciously. And so it makes you wonder where people's minds are when they are in the class, because they're not really listening. So it's really important to listen, not to me, but it's important to listen to the body. To observe whether you have basically put the body into the right position. Because the wrong position, you'll feel it. The right position, you'll feel it, but in a good way. Tighten the action of the legs. Lift up into the chest and then hinge at the hips. Keep the legs in dog down action. Bring the blocks underneath your shoulders and then lift the backs of the thighs away. So lift the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs. Again, the pelvic action. Drawing the front rim of the pelvis consciously into the tops of the thighs. Activating the thighs. Projecting the chin and the chest away. If you don't, just let the tailbone just go relax. Just draw the tailbone in like you're doing the cat pose, and your back just becomes a kind of an inverted dish. But we really want the back to be the opposite of that. So feel where the pelvis is and then lift the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs and the heels. Keep the fronts of the thighs really firmly activated. Keep the kneecaps really firmly activated. Pushing the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. And then project the chin and the chest forwards. If there's no strength, tension in your back, then you can come down a little lower. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Find a level that allows you to continue to extend forwards without losing that extension. So if you bring your hands to the floor but the pose becomes like this, then you've lost the extension. So keep the legs straight, keep the back straight, keep tilting the front rim of the pelvis in towards the tops of the legs. Projecting the chin and the chest forwards. If you've got a bad back, just stay higher. So come back into half uttanasana if you've reached around the heels, and then bring the left hand into the center of the mat, just underneath your chest. And then bring your right hand into the small of your back. Really consciously activate both legs firmly, extending into the chin and the chest, and then rotate the chest to the right side. Parsva uttanasana. Keeping both legs even. With your hands on your hips as you turn, do you notice whether one hip goes higher, the other goes lower? Try and keep them level. So you've got to really keep the action of the legs level and even. Come back to the center. So you're just using blocks for your hands if you need them. Of course, bring your right hand into the center of the mat, or bring your right block into the center of the mat. Bring your left hand onto the small of your back. Feel how the hips are level. Activate those legs evenly. Project into the chin and the chest. And then turn to the left. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. And then come back to the center. Just project the chin and the chest away, hitting the legs in the opposite direction. Okay, and then bring your hands into your hips, and then bend your knees on the way up if you need to. Come up into Tadasana. Lift up into the chest, activate your legs, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Just acknowledging again that corkscrew action that I was talking about yesterday. Because if we turn the fronts of the legs inwards, the backs of the legs turn outwards. And then that helps you to turn the fronts of the legs inwards. And there's this corkscrew action all the way from the top of the leg all the way down into the heels. So think about that corkscrew action and what it does to the hips. It gives the hips freedom. So corkscrew the legs down into the heels and then tuck the tailbone in without disturbing the legs. When you tuck the tailbone in, the front rim of the pelvis lifts up towards the abdomen. Lift the abdomen up to the diaphragm up to the collarbone. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Stretch your arms forwards, interlock the fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then raise your arms over your head in baddangulyasana. Squeezing the outer elbows in, keeping the corkscrew action of the legs. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Lengthening the arms behind you. release. Swap the interlock of the fingers. Bring the fingers right into the webbing of the hands. Turn palms all the way out. And then raise your arms over your head. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. And then gently release your arms. And then just come back into Tadasana, lifting up into the chest. Stretch your arms forwards. Turn the palms all the way out. And then like you're doing the breaststroke in the swimming pool, but keeping your arms straight at first anyway. Excuse me. Lengthen the arms behind you. Bring the tips of the fingers together and then walk the tips of the fingers up towards your neck in the namaskarasana. So that at the first stage, it's put your fingers in probably like this. If this is totally impossible, then just get hold of the, reach for the opposite elbows. But otherwise, see if you can walk the hands up your back. So at this stage, your hands are probably like this. So lengthen the shoulders into the elbows. Wing the elbows towards the wall behind you. And then squeeze the elbows in towards each other so that the heels of the hands come together. So you might have kind of become a bit like a banana shape at this stage. So if you have, then hit the legs back so that your weight goes into your heels. Tuck the tailbone in, draw the belly button towards the spine, lift up into the chest, wing in the elbows behind you. And then very gently release your arms, stretch into the fingertips, turn the palms all the way out, rotating in the upper arms, in the sockets. Lift up into the chest. Just breathing even, deep inhalations and exhalations. Stretch forwards, turn the palms, reach all the way behind you, bring the fingertips up towards your shoulders, and then wing the elbows back. Lengthen from the shoulders into the elbows, squeeze the elbows together, push the heels of the hands together, and then lengthen up into the fingertips. It really helps you to lift and open the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then gently release, just stretch the fingers as you release the hands. And bring the arms out nice and wide in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide. And then turn your left toes in, the right leg and foot all the way out. Just being mindful of the position of your feet on the mat. And this time turn the legs the opposite direction, corkscrew them in the opposite direction outwards, because the hips are in a different position now. And then come over, find the shin, look up to the ceiling if you can, or just look forwards or down, whichever works better for you. Just feel where your feet are on the mat. Try and squeeze the front leg buttock bone forward so that the front leg buttock bone is in line with the front heel. And then hit that back leg towards the wall behind you. Turn the abdomen up to face the ceiling. Breathe in and out through the nose if you can. Spread in that top arm. Reach up to the top arm. And then come back to the centre. Swap the feet around, turn the right toes in and the left leg and foot all the way out. Again, just being mindful regarding the position of the feet. Turn the legs all the way out and then reach over to the left side. Drawing the abdomen up to the ceiling. Just feeling where the body is in 3 dimensions. Feeling that the head is directly above the foot. Let's have a quick look down, make sure that it is. If it's not, lift the chest a little more. Just observing your body's resistance. Observing where there is freedom, where there's resistance. Just dividing your attention beyond the two, in between the two. And then come back to the centre, bring your feet parallel, and then step or jump the feet back together. Just come back into Tadasana. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Spreading the fingers, spreading the palms. And then come back down onto your knees. I'm not quite sure where the time has gone today. We were nearly out of time. We've only done a couple of standing poses. We spent quite a long time in limbering poses, I guess. Step the feet back, turn the toes under, and then come back up into dog down. Just feel how it feels different this time. If you're not doing dog down, do dandasana and feel how that feels different. So perhaps the pose feels lighter on the inside. Just listen to your breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. And then come down onto your knees. Sit back on your heels. And then come forwards, back into Adho Mukha Virasana. Keeping the tailbone turning in. And then just bend your knees. So sit, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, sit back on your heels and observe the energy of the physical body, that lightness from the inside. And then sit yourself in cross legs. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. So sit on a lift if you find that you can't lift the spine by sitting on the floor. Otherwise you can sit directly on the floor, lift up from the abdomen to the diaphragm to the collarbone, keeping the shoulders down. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Sorry, the right. Turn to the right. And then come back to the center. Take a deep inhalation, and with the following exhalation, turn to the left. And then gently come back to the center. We're going to do setubandha. If you're not doing inversions, then do baddangulyasana. So baddangulyasana is where you come down onto your back, pull the feet towards you, let the knees fall apart. Otherwise, so do that if you're not going upside down. Otherwise, have the heels close to the seat bones, lift the seat bones off the floor. Again, that tilt in action at the pelvis. At some stage, you get stuck, however. So you've got to gather the shoulder blades together so you come right up onto the tops of your shoulders. And then get a brick and then place the brick into the tailbone sacrum region of your back. And then hold onto the edges of the mat really firmly, like you want to tear it apart. And then turn the crease of the elbows out to face the sides of the room. So you can either stay with bent knees, or if it feels like your back will be okay, slide your right heel away, just stretch that leg out. If that feels okay in your back, then bring that leg back. Slide the left leg away along the mat. If that feels okay for your back, then bring the leg back and then slide both of the heels away if it feels okay for your back. If it doesn't, then just stay with bent knees. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. If you're in baddangulyasana, you can raise your arms over, up to the air, hook the thumbs together, and then extend the arms along the floor. So if you're in baddangulyasana, you can stretch the arms away along the floor. You can use a blanket underneath your hand, a folded blanket underneath your hands if there's stiffness in your shoulders. And just swap the interlock of the thumbs so that each on both interlocks. In setubandha, if you've got your legs straight, then really straighten them by tightening the kneecaps. Tadasanarise that leg, those legs, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, backs of the thighs outwards, that same corkscrew action from the hips all the way down to the heels. So if it becomes too much for your back, then just bend your knees but stay on the left. If you've been stretching your arms over your head in baddangulyasana, then just relax the arms, bring the hands onto the lower ribs. Just rest in baddangulyasana. In setubandha, just stay a few more moments if you can. Okay, when you're ready, just lift the seat bones up off the brick. You might have to come up onto the tiptoes to do it. Just lift the seat bones off the brick, move the brick out of the way, and then adjust your shoulders and guide yourself back down to the floor. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just easing out any tension in your back. Maybe even do happy baby, pulling, holding onto the feet, the outside edge of the feet, and just having a little rock, working the legs wide and bringing them narrow, just to really work into the back. And then release, roll onto your right side and sit yourself up, and then get your folded blanket. Get your folded blanket for your head, and then just guide yourself down the middle of the mat. Make sure you're in a really good straight line, and then just move any equipment out of the way that might be in the way, and allow the body to release completely into the floor. Let the body become heavy. Unhook the muscles of the legs and the arms, and then observe that feeling of energetic lightness that radiates from the bones and into the muscles. Radiating from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs. Radiating positive energy into the organs and into the flesh and the skin. Using your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into the toes, into the fingertips, and up into the top of the head. Basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. Enjoying the sensation of relaxation. Enjoying the lightness of your energy. When you're ready to disturb yourself, just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then gently roll over onto your right side, Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg. Come back into a seated position. Just a final cross legs with your hands in Namaste. Final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose. Down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you've released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy that you've created inside. And send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Just connecting the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom and peacefulness, physical intelligence that we can carry into our day as an intention. And then raise your head. Allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you. So hopefully you feel like you have really stretched yourself out, brought a real peacefulness into your body and your mind. So have a great day, and thank you very much for joining me.